What if the way you handle money is not just a financial issue, but a spiritual one that shapes your relationship with God? Money touches every part of our lives, our dreams, our worries, our families, and even our faith. Jesus talked about money more than many other topics, not because money is evil, but because it reveals what truly owns our hearts. Today, we're going to unpack what the Bible really teaches about money and possessions, not through pressure or guilt, but through clarity, wisdom, and freedom. Stay with me, because by the end of this message, you may never look at your wallet the same way again. Understanding biblical stewardship. Let's start with a truth that sets the foundation for everything else. God owns it all. Psalm 24:1 says, "The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, the world and all who live in it." That verse flips our modern mindset upside down. We often say, my money, my house, my car, or my business. But Scripture reminds us that nothing truly belongs to us. Everything we have, every resource, every opportunity, every skill, ultimately belongs to God. In the Bible, stewardship means managing something that belongs to someone else. You are not the owner, you are the manager. And when you see yourself as a steward instead of an owner, it changes how you spend, save, give, and even worry. Think of it this way. If a close friend entrusted you with their house while they were away, you wouldn't trash it or misuse it. You'd take care of it because it's not yours. In the same way, God has entrusted us with resources, expecting faithfulness, not perfection. Luke 16:10 says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." How we handle money today often reveals how ready we are for what God wants to entrust to us tomorrow. Money is a tool, not a master. One of the most misunderstood Bible verses about money is 1 Timothy 6 verse 10. It says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil." Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say money itself is evil. The problem is loving money, depending on it, trusting it, or letting it control your decisions. Jesus said in Matthew 6:24, "No one can serve two masters. You cannot serve both God and money." Money is a powerful tool. It can bless families, support ministry, feed the hungry, and open doors for the gospel. But once money becomes your master, once it dictates your peace, identity, or worth, it becomes a spiritual problem. Modern life constantly tells us more money will fix everything. But Ecclesiastes 5:10 reminds us, whoever loves money never has enough. The appetite for more is never satisfied. Biblical stewardship teaches us to use money without being used by it. Contentment, the forgotten key. In a world driven by ads, social media, and comparison, contentment feels almost rebellious. Hebrews 13:5 says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, 'Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you.'" Notice the connection. Contentment is not based on how much you have, but on who is with you. Paul understood this deeply. In Philippians 4:11-12, he said he learned to be content whether he had plenty or little. Contentment is learned, not automatic. When you're content, money loses its power over your emotions. You stop chasing things to prove your worth. You begin to rest in God's provision instead of stressing over comparison. Contentment doesn't mean lack of ambition. It means your joy is not tied to possessions. Giving, the heart of biblical stewardship. God's pattern of generosity. From Genesis to Revelation, God reveals himself as a generous giver. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave." God didn't just teach generosity, he modeled it. Giving in the Bible is not about loss, it's about trust. Proverbs 3:10 says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, then your barns will be filled to overflowing." When we give, we are not informing God of our generosity. We are declaring our dependence on him. Giving reminds us that our security does not come from money, but from God. Giving freely, not fearfully. One of the clearest teachings on giving is found in 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. God is not interested in pressured giving or guilt-driven generosity. He wants willing hearts. In Mark 12:41-44, Jesus pointed out the widow who gave 2 small coins. Financially, it seemed insignificant. Spiritually, it was powerful. Jesus said she gave more than everyone else because she gave out of her poverty, not her excess. Biblical stewardship values the heart behind the gift, not the size of it. If this message is helping you see money through a biblical lens, like this video, Comment, Lord, teach me to be a faithful steward, and share this with someone who may be struggling with finances. And don't forget to subscribe to Bible Fix for more practical, faith-filled teachings. Saving, planning, and wisdom. The Bible supports wise planning. Some people think faith means ignoring planning, but Scripture teaches balance. Proverbs 21 verse 5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance." Joseph is a powerful example. In Genesis 41, God gave him wisdom to store grain during years of abundance, so Egypt could survive famine. Saving wasn't a lack of faith, it was obedience. Stewardship includes budgeting wisely, avoiding unnecessary debt, preparing for future needs. Jesus himself said in Luke 14:28, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost?" Planning honors God because it reflects wisdom and responsibility. Debt and financial freedom. The Bible does not say debt is always sinful, but it clearly warns us about its dangers. Proverbs 22 verse 7 says, "The borrower is slave to the lender." Debt can limit generosity, increase stress, and restrict freedom. God desires his people to live free, not constantly burdened. Romans 13:8 encourages us, "Let no debt remain outstanding, except the continuing debt to love one another." Biblical stewardship moves us toward freedom, not bondage. Eternal perspective on possessions. Temporary wealth, eternal impact. Jesus gave one of the most important warnings about possessions in Matthew 6:19-20. "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven." Earthly possessions are temporary. Eternal impact lasts forever. The parable of the rich fool in Luke 12:15-21 tells of a man who stored wealth but ignored God. His life ended suddenly, and all his possessions meant nothing. Jesus concluded by saying, "This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves but is not rich toward God." True stewardship always asks, how does this honor God and serve others? Generosity reflects trust in God. Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it will be given to you. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." This is not a formula to manipulate blessings. It's a principle of trust. When you give generously, you are saying, "God, I trust you to provide." God's economy works differently from the world's. In God's kingdom, generosity multiplies impact. Biblical stewardship is not about how much you have, it's about how you manage what God has entrusted to you. We've learned that God owns everything, and we are his stewards. Money is a tool, not a master. Contentment frees us from greed. Giving reflects trust and worship. Wise planning honors God. Eternal perspective keeps our hearts aligned. When money is surrendered to God, it becomes a blessing instead of a burden. If this message blessed you today, like this video, comment, "Lord, help me be a faithful steward," and share this with someone who needs biblical wisdom about money. And don't forget to subscribe to Bible Fix for more biblical, practical, and life-changing teachings. May God guide your hands, guard your heart, and use what you have for his glory. God bless you.